What's going on, guys? So today we are inside the Rusty Bucket and we are here to show you guys probably my 3 top favorite rigs and most used rigs offshore that are probably the most productive, I personally feel. Everybody else has a different spin on stuff, but we're going to show you guys how we would do it and what we use. So let's go over to the wall and start grabbing some stuff that we need. So when we're grouper fishing, guys, we like to grab a 7/0 circle hook. You judge your size depending on your size baits, but most of the time a 7/0 will get you away. Get you pretty good with everything. And then for our snapper and hogfish, I like to use a 3 to 4/0. Sometimes you use a 2/0 depending on what size your stuff is, but you know, this is it. It's what we like to use right here. For weight size, you're gonna have to adjust your weights on these rigs depending on your depth, water current, stuff like that. But what we normally use when we're grouper fishing, we use anywhere from a 5 to a 6 ounce. When we're using a chicken rig,
did you just stab your head on something? So going in the video.
I caught one of these stupid hooks I was hanging out.
Take 2.
All right, guys. So for our chicken rigs, you know that you see us use a lot. Brandon, it's probably Brandon's most favorite rig. We use anywhere from a 2 ounce to a 3 ounce bank sinker, which would be one of these little guys right here. They work fantastic. When we're hog fishing, depending on the depth and the current, but we most of the time use a nice 2 ounce egg sinker right here. That's what we use. You can get away with it 90% of the time. We use pretty light gear too for hogs, so you know, we don't really need a lot of lead. And then we use beads on the hog rig. Those are the beads right there. And all this stuff, guys, you can come right in the Rusty Bucket. If you guys are local to Newport Rich area, come right here, pick it all up. Super easy, no problem. Grouper fishing, about 80 pound. And then for basically everything else that we're going to be using, we're going to be using 30 pound leader. I use fluorocarbon and everything. You don't have to, but we do. It's just spend a little bit of money. It does help out a little bit. So we're going to take you guys over here. We're going to show you guys how to rig everything. All right, guys. So the first rig that we're going to start out with today is going to be what we use for hogfish, a knocker rig. There'll be 2 different things you can do with the knocker rig. You can either A, put the beads on it, which that's what we do for the hogfish, or you can do no beads and it works for hogfish, snapper. The beads on it really don't affect for the snapper bite and stuff, but without a bead, if the bite's hot and quick and you don't feel like digging in your bag or box or offshore or whatever to get beads, you don't have to. You can just, but you know, when I'm pre-rigging stuff the night before in the garage, this is what I like to do. So, first thing you're gonna need, cut yourself a nice chunk of leader, about, you know, I do 3 feet because you get a little bit of chafe on there, you can cut it off or whatever. Then you're going to need your 2 ounce egg sinker, okay? We're doing everything upscaled right now. As you can tell, this is not 30 pound that I'm using. This is 100 pound high vis mono so that you guys can actually see what we're doing. So first thing we do, slide your egg sinker on. Got to kind of force it on there so it fits. Then we usually do 3 beads. These aren't the normal beads like the ones that we showed you at the beginning of the video, because like I said, we're doing everything upscaled so you guys can see exactly what we're doing. Slide your beads on, get them on there. So before you tie your hook on, that's what it should look like right there. Egg sinker, 3 beads. All right. Then the knot I like to use, so we're gonna slide these out of frame. We don't need those in there right now. So the knot we're using, now of course this is like a 15/0 circle hook. This is not a 2/0 or a 3/0 like we normally use. Like I said, everything's upscale. So doesn't matter which way you put it in your eye loop. So this is the knot I like to use, guys. There is 100 different knots out there that you can use. Whatever one you feel most comfortable with. This is definitely the one I feel most comfortable with. This is called a uni knot. So you just give it some slack, take your tag end, bring it up against your main line, just like this. Just like that, all right? This stuff's a little bit harder for me to work with, guys, so bear with me. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna bring this back around, pinch it up top, bring it back around. You're gonna have it looking just like this. And all you do is take this tag end, wrap it inside around both your main and your tag end. You wanna wrap it about 5 or 6 times. We're not gonna do that many this time around because this stuff's hard. And once you get it, these hooks are sharp, guys. Once you get it wrapped, it's going to look like that, okay? So either you can take your teeth, bite it here, and pull tight, pair of pliers, or you know, you can pinch it. What you want to do though is you definitely want to saliva this up a little bit. Get a little wet, you know, lick it, whatever, you know. I'm not going to do that here, showing you guys. So you're going to pull your tag in a little bit tighter. Get it so your knot starts clenching down, just like that. Then you want to hold on to your hook. You want to take your main line and you're going to pull just like this. And it's going to slowly slide down. Once you get to this point, this is when I like to kind of take it and I'll pull that tag end up a little bit higher and then I'll pull tight. And then you cinch her down real good, and that's what it's going to look like, just like that. Exactly how it's going to look, guys. Can't get much prettier than that. And what you're going to do is make sure you want a good pair of cutters. You know, nice sharp pair of cutters when you're cutting line. So, cut your tag in a little bit. Get that trimmed off there. This way you got it nice and short. You don't have to worry about it. Now, what your rig is going to look like, after you slide her down, this is what your rig is going to look like, just on a way smaller scale. Just like that. If you guys have been around the channel a lot, have seen us use this rig a lot. You know, there's we use shrimp on this. You can upscale it and get rid of the beads, like this. You just get rid of the beads, put a heavier sinker on there, bigger hook, use it for grouper fishing with live pinfish. Rig is a multi-purpose fish slaying machine, right there. Alright guys, so the next rig, we're actually going to leave basically the leader that we had for our hogfish rig, right here. Hogfish rig, it's about the right length. It's a little long, but so what I like to do, I'm going to be tying a grouper rig up next. They call it fish finder rig. So it's just, you know, hook, super standard. Hook, pull out 3-4 feet of leader. You could do 5 or 6, you know, whatever. Give yourself a little extra playroom. Pull that out. You got that rig just like this, right? So what you're going to do, in this one, you're going to need a swivel. We forgot to mention this earlier. That's my bad. I was a blonde moment. So you're going to take a swivel, and we're going to put it on our line that has our hook on it. Just hooks here. There's our leader. Here's our swivel going on the other end. We're going to do the exact same uni knot that we were doing beforehand. We're going to do the exact same steps, just like this. And like I said, you don't have to use this uni. You can definitely use something different. They have all different types of clench knots out there. What you do is you just wrap it back around again. Do the same steps. Come on. Come on. This heavy stuff's hard to tie like this sometimes, guys. Alright, we got 3 wraps in there. We're just going to tie it to show y'all. Slide it down. You get her tied, you're going to trim off your tag end. Now you're going to have your swivel, your leader, and your hook all in one shot, just like that. Boom. That's what it's going to look like. It's really long. I did not trim much of it. So now you got your leader. We're going to pretend like this is your main line off your rod and reel. This is your main line off your rod and reel. This is where you take that big boy sinker, that 6-ouncer that we got. And you slide it on your main line, which would be to your rod and reel, which some guys use mono, some guys use braid. I do both. I do braid with about 60 feet, depending on how depth, 30 feet of mono top shot, with a little bit of stretch. Slide it on your main line. Then you're just going to simply take and tie another uni knot or a different clench knot. They have the knot called the fisherman's knot or 100% knot. I've had really good luck with uni. The goal is, guys, you want to find a knot that you can tie with your eyes closed. If you can tie a knot with your eyes closed or not looking at it, that's the best knot to do. We're going to tie it up, get her tied, snug her down, pull her tight. Make sure you get it really snug. There we go. All right. Well, trim off your tag end again. We're going to cut this so we don't have a bunch of line laying around so we can show you guys. And just like this is what you'll have when it's all said and done. Big egg sinker that will slide up and down on the line when your bait moves and a fish bites. To a swivel. Swivels come in different sizes. If that's like a 150-pound swivel, it works great. You don't have to worry about it popping. Then, this is about a little over 6 feet of freaking leader. You don't need that much. But sometimes I do put that much because if you get, you know, a grouper gets you in the rocks, chafes you up to about here, you can trim it, and then you don't have to retie a whole new leader. And that's it right there, guys. That is called the fish finder rig. And that's what we'd be dropping, you know, big live baits, you know, live pinfish, or a big live white bait, or a thread fin, or even frozen bait. You can drop, you know, frozen thread fins, sardines, and squid. And that's our main go-to for grouper, red snapper, even cobia. Sometimes you can get a good cobia on this. And that's how you tie that one up, guys. Our next rig we're going to show you guys is going to be the chicken rig, which is Brandon's favorite freaking rig, I think, in the world. Every time we're on the boat, I go to pick up a chicken rig rod and it's gone. And I'm like, who hasn't? You look over and Brandon's already has it on the bottom fishing before we even get the anchor set. So we're going to show you guys that one next. This is the next rig. It's going to be the chicken rig. And I'm going to show you guys, there's two kind of steps to the chicken rig. They're pretty simple. The first step, this is the end of my leader. You know, after you cut it off and you got your end. We're going to take this right here. We're going to take it, go like this. We're going to take the end. This is what we want at the end of the day. We want a loop like this. So we're going to take the tag end, bring it up, pinch it together. Now you got yourself a loop, just like this. See that? Now we're going to take it, bring it back around itself, and basically you're going to do the first step of your shoe. Pull it back tight. That's it. That's all you're going to do right there. Cinch it down a little bit. And the reason why I do that, guys, I'm going to trim off the excess. Come on. The reason why I do that, a simple, easy knot that looks like it's going to pull out, because it's designed to pull out. What you do is you pinch the loop together, and you slide it through the eye on these bank sinkers. You can use an egg sinker, but it's kind of more of a pain in the butt to use an egg sinker, I feel. Bear with me. There we go. Alright, so you get it through the egg sinker. What you do is you open your loop back up, loop it around the egg sinker, woo, bank sinker, pull it tight just like that. So the reason why we have this cheap knot on here like this, yeah, it looks terrible, right? Purpose of is that if this sinker gets hung up on the bottom, you can pull, this knot will slip out. All you're going to lose is this sinker. You're not going to lose your whole rig, so you can just tie another sinker on and get back to fishing quick. This is what's going to be on the bottom of your chicken rig, which it's called the chicken rig, or it's called the dropper loop. I call it the chicken rig just because. And all you're going to do is basically you're going to take it and you're going to pull off some leader. I want my hook to be about 3 feet off. So right there, I pinched, and there's my sinker. So it's about 3 feet away. So I want it to be about 3 feet. So I'm going to take it after I pinch it. I'm going to give me a little bit more. I'm going to make a loop. Now you guys see how this is crossing, just like this, crossed. All right. You're going to pinch it together, and you're going to separate them, just like this. And all we're going to do is we're going to twist the tops together, just like this. Twist it 4 times or so. We're only going to twist it probably 3 times because this mono is really heavy. All right, now that we made a loop, see how we made a loop? It's twisted here and it's twisted here. And here's the bottom of that original loop that we made. We're going to take that bottom of that original loop, go through the middle, okay? Now this is where I use my teeth. I go in like this. There we go. All right, guys, so right there's what it's supposed to look like. I kind of messed up beforehand, but I had to change it up. That's what it looks like when we cinch it down. We got a loop. Now you can adjust the size of this loop depending on how big of a loop that you made to begin with to tie it. And all we're going to do is we're going to take this loop right here, and we're going to pinch it together, and we're going to thread it through the eyelet of the hook. There's a lot of guys that say it matters which way you thread it, which way I don't personally see that makes a difference, but you know, each is their own. So thread it through, and now put your hook through the loop. I should have made a bigger loop. The hook's too big. Put the hook through, and that's what it's going to look like right there. It's going to sit just out, just like that, off the bottom. Boom. Out. Right there's what your chicken rig is going to look like, guys. Hook's going to be sitting up top, sinker on the bottom. You're going to keep keeping that bait off the bottom, just like that. That's been a snapper killer right there. Any type of snapper eats that. We've caught big grouper. I mean, shoot, Brandon got his PB at like 31 and 32 off a chicken rig. So these work for more than just snapper. And this is like a good multi-purpose rig. You can use it in any depth. We use it anywhere from 15 feet all the way out to 150 feet. You know, fantastic rig. Just one thing. And then if you guys go out deeper, it's simple. All you gotta do, undo your sinker, put a bigger one on, and you're ready to rock. Real simple, real basic, and you know, they work too. That's the biggest thing. You go on YouTube and you find all these guys are tying these rigs, but do you know if they work? These ones do, I can promise you. Alright guys, so I hope these rigs will help you guys out a little bit. If you guys have any more questions about anything, you can drop them in the comments. We're happy to answer anything. All the stuff that we use for our offshore for these rigs, you can pick up right here at the Rusty Bucket if you're local. And, you know, like I said, we use every different variety of baits on all the rigs. Every rig, we've used different baits on everything, from pinfish to squid to shrimp to, you know, it all works. You know, whatever the fish are feeding on is what we're dropping. Usually, you know, we bring a little bit of everything with us when we go offshore, because you never know what they want to eat that day. But like I said, anything that I use today, you can pick up right here at the Rusty Bucket in Newport Richey. If you guys like the video, make sure you guys hit subscribe and give us a thumbs up. Helps me and Brandon out a lot. And we'll catch you guys in the next one.